Hello everybody. Welcome to CMSY219 Operating Systems course. My name is Dr. Charles Edwards and I'll be teaching this class this semester. This is an online class and typically each week the week starts on a Monday and then ends on a Sunday evening at 11:59 p.m. Any homeworks that and labs that are due will be due by that following Sunday by 11:59 p.m. So for this course, I hope by now everybody has access to Canvas. So anything and everything that you need will be here in Canvas. Submitting your homeworks and then what you need to do for your lab. For the labs, I will give you more direction tomorrow when I will be posting week one's lecture. So today I'm just going to give you a brief introduction about the course and tell you what my expectations are and what you can expect as well. So when you get to Canvas, click on modules and anything that you need to do will be here in modules. If you click on syllabus, that'll take you to the syllabus and the objectives, the special topics. The textbook that we are using for this semester, it's not the same one that we used in the past. It's called Guide to Operating Systems. It's the 5th edition. It's by Greg Tomsha. And here's the ISBN number as well. There are 3 exams, lab assignments, and then homeworks. So the 3 exams are 45%, and then the labs are 30%, and then homeworks are 25%. Please submit your labs and homeworks on time. If you're late, then points are going to be deducted, or sometimes if it's too late, I will not accept it. So here's what we're going to cover the rest of the semester. As I had mentioned to you, we will be starting on a Monday, that is tomorrow, August 27th, and week 1 will end on September 2nd by 11:59 p.m. First week we'll be covering chapter 1, course introduction and operating systems fundamentals, and we have lab 1 and homework 1. Week 2, September 2nd through 9th, we're going to go through chapter 2, and then week 3, chapter 3, and then chapter 4, file systems, September 17th through 23rd, and then September 24th through 30th is time slotted for exam 1. That's going to cover chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for exam 1, I'll go back, I'll talk to you about that as well. If you go to modules and go down to week 5, so it's going to cover chapters 1 through 4. And when you click on exam, there are 100 questions, true or false and multiple choice. You have 1 week from September 24th through September 30th to take the exam. But you must complete this exam at one sitting. You can't take it 2 hours one day and then 20 minutes another day. The entire exam is going to last 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you should try to take it in one setting. The clock starts as soon as you click on the exam. It's an open book, open notes exam. You just cannot get help from anybody else. There is no proctor needed for this exam. Your integrity, is based on, if I suspect that there's some cheating going on, then there's a process for that as well. I leave this as open book and open notes, because if you're at work and you're going to be addressing any question about an operating system, you're pretty much going to refer to the manual for that. So I leave all of my exams, both first, second, and final, as open book and open notes. The exam will close as soon as the 2 hours and 20 minutes is finished. And then week 6, we're going to cover chapter 5. Then week 7, chapter 6. Week 8, chapter 7. Week 9, chapter 8. And then week 10, there's an exam 2 that's going to cover chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. And same, there's going to be 100 questions. And then coming back on November 5th, you have 1 week to do this exam, October 29th through November 4th. And then week 11, we're going to cover chapter 9. Week 12, we're going to cover chapter 10. Week 13, we are going to cover, there's no class, it's Thanksgiving break. There's no classes that entire week. And then, I don't want to confuse anybody, so let me, Thanksgiving break. And there's no class. Week 14, November 26th through December 2nd, we're going through chapter 11. And then week 15, we're going to talk about Unix operating system. It's not in the textbook. I have some set of slides for us to go through, and it's comprehensive that you can review that as well. And there's a lab 12 for that. And there's no homework, so I have a lab 13 as well. Final exam, it's between December 10th through 14th. It's going to cover chapter 9, 10, and 11. And it's going to have 100 questions, and it's multiple choice and true or false. Your final exam must be completed by December 14th, 11:59 p.m. I have to turn in the grades by the 15th. So anything that is going to be late, you have to make sure you submit it by December 14th, 11:59 p.m. So that's what we're going to cover this semester. So when you click on Lab 1, and I'm going to tell you for you folks who are going to be doing this as an online class, how to access it. There's going to be separate instructions given to you for that. But Lab 1, you can download it, and it's going to give various instructions for Lab 1 and ask you to answer several questions, answer them. It's all in Word document. Just type it below the question, the answer. Wherever you need to insert a screenshot, insert the screenshot. And then once you have finished, save that file and append your last name to that file, lab1_Smith, if that's your name, and then submit that in Canvas by the due date. And then if you go back to modules again, there's 100 points for the Lab 1. And going back to modules, if you look at homework 1, which is also due on September 2nd, and click on it. So homework 1 is going to have 10 questions. Answer each one of the questions. Don't cut and paste verbatim from the textbook. Try to understand it and write it in your own words. So I've given each question carries 5 points, and there's additional 5 points for if your answer overall has been an exceptional submission for homework 1, then you get the additional 5 points. And submit this homework as well by the due date, which is September 2nd. So likewise, for each one of the week, there's a lab there's a homework. You need to buy a textbook, but I also, to make it easier for you, I've posted each of the chapters, and there's also the PowerPoint slide. So listen and watch my video on the lecture, read chapter, and then read the chapter 1, and then look at the slides, and then attempt your homework and your lab. So each week that is going to be the mechanism. I will be posting a lecture Monday morning, and you have the entire week to listen to it and address the lab 1 and homework. And likewise, any questions from week 1, when I do the lecture for week 2, I will answer those questions if there are any, and then start with the lecture, and then you have 1 week to do that as well. So that's the process that we're going to use for the semester. And if there are any questions, please feel free to text me, or if you click on start here, there's my cell number. You can text me if there's an answer that you need. If it's an immediate answer you need, then send me, text me. If not, just email me, and I will take up to 48 hours to respond to your email. When you text me, tell me who you are and then which class you are taking, so I'll know, because I'm teaching 7 classes, so it's going to be pretty hard for me to remember all the names. Also, one other thing, go under discussions, and then go under class introductions, and then reply. I have done my introduction, and then go ahead and reply to it. Each one of you do that. All right. So I will be posting lecture 1 tomorrow, as well as instructions on how to access the server to do your labs. If you're able to do it in your home computer, you can, but since not everybody has a Windows and Fedora, I'm trying to get this set up in the college server so you'll be able to access it from home. Okay, so that's it for the introduction. I'll be posting this, and then I'll talk to you again tomorrow.